Om Namah Shivaya, Episode 50, Chapter 10, Verses 8 to 11. How to have a clear vision of Isvara. In verse 8, Sri Krishna states, first, to have a clear vision of Isvara, we must know that Atma is Isvara. Isvara is the creator of this entire universe. Aham sarvasya prabhava. This creation has its being in this one self-existent, self-evident Atma. Second, Isvara is also the sustainer and the dissolver of this creation. Because of Isvara, everything in this creation is being sustained. Mata sarvam pravartate. Isvara as the sustainer is Lord Vishnu, Vasudeva, who sustains the creation for a length of time, undergoing partial changes until finally it dissolves back into Atma. Our body, mind, senses undergoes change from infant to old age due to Atma's presence. And when we do an action to fulfill our desires, we accumulate punyas and papas, which keeps us going on this endless cycle of birth and death until we gain the knowledge of Brahman. Third, upon gaining the knowledge of Brahman, we become wise. Iti matva buddha. To be endowed with a vision of Isvara, bhava samanvita. Now we identify ourselves as Satchit Ananda Atma, Brahman, Isvara, the only reality in this entire creation. Fourth, as a result, we reach Isvara, Mam Bhajante. As we know that between Isvara and us the Jiva, there is no essential difference. Isvara is nothing but Param Brahma, and we the Jivas are also Param Brahma, the only reality in this entire creation. The truth of everything is Param Atma. Let us chant this chant to have the vision of Isvara. Om Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Om. In verse 9, Sri Krishna further states, first, when our minds are absorbed in Isvara, in the knowledge of Brahman, Matchitta, naturally our minds are not separate from Param Atma, as our minds cannot go away from Paramatma. Second, our entire living lifestyle resolves in Isvara, Matgata Prana, as we perceive things distinctly. We appreciate that we the perceiver, the object perceived, and our perception all have their being in the self-existent Atma. Thereby we see no difference between spiritual and external worldly living. Third, thereby we revel, Ramati, in the external world, mutually teaching each other. Bodhayanta parasparam. We teach those who want to learn by talking about the glories of Isvara, Katayanta cha mam. By teaching the knowledge of Brahman, describing Isvara's strength, glories, we are always satisfied. Nityam tushyanti cha. Reveling does not require anything except analyzing and contemplating upon the knowledge of Brahman. We do not go looking for happiness. We discover happiness is our essential nature. Thereby, we continue doing our righteous duties happily without a sense of doership or enjoyership. Let us chant this chant to revel and be always satisfied. Om Madchitta Madkata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Om. Verse 10 states, number 1. When we are jignasus, committed to the knowledge of Brahman, Tesham Satata Yuktana, committed 24 hours a day to the pursuit of this knowledge, then we are matured human beings, as we find nothing else more worthwhile. Number 2. When this desire for this knowledge is converted to love for this knowledge, then we seek Isvara with love. Pirti Purvakam Bhajata. Then this pursuit for this knowledge becomes devotion, which naturally produces certain grace to contemplate upon Brahman. As the words of the Gita comes from Isvara, describes Isvara and has Isvara's grace. Number 3, thereby Isvara gives us this Buddhi Yoga, the one truth in this entire creation, that is Atma, Parameshvara. Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. To recognize Isvara, to reach Isvara, Yenamam Upayantite. Let us chant this chant to enhance the vision of Isvara. Om Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Pirti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mam Upayanti Te. Om. Verse 11 says, if we were to ask Sri Krishna, why do you give this Buddhi Yoga, the love for the knowledge of Brahman, to your devotees, to recognize that every object in this creation has its existence in Param Atma? Sri Krishna's reply will be, first, for my devotees alone, Tesham Eva, who want freedom from being jivas, who want moksha, who are invoking me with love in all their actions and prayers, out of compassion, out of grace, Anukampartham. Isvara as Atma, the pure consciousness present in every thought of our mind, Atma Bhavasta Aham, shines as Param Atma, our true nature, our Swarupa. Second, this shining lamp of knowledge, Jnana Deepena Bhavasta, leaves nothing to be desired. This love for the knowledge of Brahman is like lighting an oil lamp, where the wick is soaked in oil, which is sticky. In the same manner, our love for the knowledge of Brahman must be soaked with cheerfulness and devotion, and be protected by constantly contemplating upon the words of the Shastra, upon the words of the Gita, so that the values and attributes becomes our nature. We become wise. Third, then this knowledge will destroy all our delusion born of ignorance. Nasayami ajnanajam tamam. To recognize that we are not this body, mind, senses. We are not the doer. We are not the enjoyer. We are Satchit Ananda Atma. We are Brahman, Isvara, absolute bliss. Let us chant this chant and make this pure consciousness shine in every thought of our mind. Om Tesham evanukam partam aham ajnanajam tamaha nasayam yatma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. Om. At verse 11, we shall take a break, and next Arjuna is going to reveal what he has understood so far. And he also requests Sri Krishna to repeat what he has said about the glories of Isvara. So till then, Om Namah Shivaya.